these these true false and multiple choice, and right now they're all hard coded, right? Here, we're using the same name for this input field and for these checkboxes and so this variable. So it's not quite working quite well. So for instance, what we could do is that these actually are being rendered from a question that is coming from the server, right? So for instance, right, we could notice that in our true false, remember that we are retrieving the question is being passed to us as an input. See that? And that question probably has a unique identifier, right? So for instance, we could render it here just to make sure that we have question, and we have the underscore ID. All right, so if you notice, this has a 1, 2, 3, and this one has a 3, 4, 5. So to fix the fact that we have this kind of weird behavior because they have the same name, right, we could use the ID to be the unique identifier to make them independent from each other, right? So let's make this a little bit easier to read. So we have these two input fields, and right now, to make them independent of each other, we are using this hard-coded beach here. Right? It's the only reason why we use the name, only to make them independent of each other, right? To make them mutually exclusive. But we saw the problem that if you have multiple true-false questions, that because they all have the same name, they behave weird. So the way we can fix that is by using the ID of the question. Right, because we know that's unique, we can put that there as a name. All right, now if we go back, right, it runs just the same way, but now notice that this works fine, and it's completely independent from this true/false down here. See that? It's not screwing up this set of radio buttons, right? They're completely independent of each other. Yeah, excellent. In the same way, we can do the same thing here, right? In the multiple choice, if we had several multiple choices, right now the name is hard-coded, right? So we can go back to the HTML for the multiple choice, and instead of using this hard-coded name, right, we could use the question ID for uniqueness. So this would be question dot underscore ID. So we can copy that. Right, and use that instead. Okay? And this should behave the same way as before. There was no problem for this because obviously it was not. We don't have several multiple choice, so we weren't having that problem. But we would have seen it if it were several multiple choice using the same name. Okay?